Hey you guys, my name is Mara Sullivan and welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about friendships, we're going to be talking about girlfriends, we're going to be talking about jealousy, we're going to be talking about comparison, friendships dying off as you get older and drifting apart from friends. This video is actually a part of a little mini series I'm doing on here inspired by Galentine's Day, and so it's called Galentine Wine Time. Try saying that 10 times fast if you have not checked out the other videos in this little mini series that I'm doing, go check those out after this one. But I wanted to just do something fun and girly for about around 7 to 10 videos. I will be talking about like girlhood, womanhood things specifically, PMS, divine feminine, romanticizing your life, self care, all of the fun, girly girlhood topics that I will be getting into. And today's video specifically is about friends and girlfriends. And I feel like sisterhood and girlfriends is such a huge part of womanhood in general. Like, even if you don't have a huge friend group, I feel like every girl needs a girl. You know what I mean? I feel like um, I heard Iyanla Van Zant say that she, at every point in her life, at every critical point in her life, especially, there was always a sister girl in her life, that came through for her or showed up for her. And I feel like, friendships is so hard as we get older because, once we graduate college, we don't have those built-in friendships anymore. And so it can be harder to make friends, as people go into different life phases, it can be hard to keep up with friends. And there's also like a negative narrative around friendships because jealousy happens, comparison happens. Like I said, people go into different life phases, money, spouses, children, things come up that affect friendships and that change, how people interact with each other. And as we get older, I do think it's important to at least have like one ride or die is always great, but if you can have one or more, it's really nice to at least, try to make sure that you have some solid relationships in your life, even if they're people that you can't keep up with every single day. Um, we all know that just girl friendships and especially girlfriends and like there's just nothing like having a good solid friend and it really is such a huge part of womanhood, just having that go-to friend, that go-to girl, your sister girl, that really does show up for you even if you don't talk every day, even if you don't even talk, once a week, like you just know whenever you do see them you're able to pick back up where you left off, and those are like, you know real solid friends, and they are hard to find. And so I definitely understand, when people say like, when girls get into the whole like, just don't have friends, your life is better off without friends. I definitely understand that 100%. As someone who has always had a small friend group, who I tend to move in silence. I really don't share. I don't vent. Like I'm not much of a venter, even though I have a whole YouTube channel now where I talk. I have a podcast where I talk a lot. I am pretty like, I think the word is just independent, and so I like to do my own thing. But when I'm with friends, I love being with them. And like I said, even as I get older, they're not people that I see all the time. But when we do get together, it's always a good time. So girlfriends is what we will get into on this video. By the way, I am drinking cranberry juice and sparkling water because I actually do not drink wine. I always get super sick when I drink wine. It gives me the worst headaches. It gives me the like nausea, stomach aches. Like I wine puts me out, and it does not even matter like what kind I drink. Like it wine and me just do not get along. And it's so weird because I can drink the hard stuff and be just fine. Like I can drink tequila, vodka, whiskey, all the things that most people cannot drink, I'm fine when I drink, but I drink wine and I'm out. And so we got cranberry juice and sparkling water today. Um, in some of the videos, it will be tequila and cranberry. But because, like I said, I'm doing like around 10 of these videos, I'm not taking, I'm not going to be drinking tequila in every single video. But as for this one, we got cranberry and sparkling water. Um, but yeah, so I wanted to talk about friends. Like I said, it's super normal to have friendships change as you get older. And like I said, just because you don't have those built-in friendships anymore, it can be harder to make friends, especially, if you're someone who just tends to work and go home and work and go home and work and go home. If you don't do other things outside of your job, or it's even worse if you do work from home, then you're really never getting out. So it's like, you really have to be intentional about the places that you go and being a part of activities and clubs and organizations and volunteering and just being a part of things where you're going to be around other people. And when you're a part of religious organizations or you're volunteering at certain places, when you go to a specific gym, like that you're going to run into people who are into the same things that you're into. And so that's why it's like super important, things like book clubs and just figuring out things that are going on in your area, figuring out things that are going on in your community, in your area. Like I said, whatever you're into, cooking classes, like um just classes in general, workout classes, um whatever hobbies you're into. Sports is like super good. If you like used to be really good at a sport but you stopped playing at some point, there are still like leagues for adults like that you can still get into. Like there's still ways to like be active and to still play sports without a gym. Like I feel like the gym is everybody's go-to, but there are other sporting clubs that you can get into. I know that marathon running, depending on your city, is huge. A lot of people have met and made really great friends, just by being a part of running clubs. Like I said, book clubs are really great. Finding places to volunteer, any type of faith, spiritual, religious community is super great to meet people who, again, are into the same things that you're into. Um, any religious organizations, anywhere that you can volunteer. If you love dogs, any shelters, any like, just places that you genuinely love to go to. And it's also going to help you to get out of the house and it's going to help you to just meet new people and just to fill your day and fill your time with things that you really do enjoy doing. And it's also just going to help you to be around like-minded people. It's also important to remember that because people are in different life phases and in different times in their lives as we get older, especially, it's important to kind of give people their space and to, kind of hold your friends with an open hand a little bit so that you're not like super dependent on them. And just know that, a lot of times when you're super close to someone for a long period of time and then life happens and things happen, it's okay to drift apart. And it's also okay, if the dynamic of the friendship changes. If, that person just falls off, if that person just decides that they decide to move on, it's okay to let them go. It is okay to, um, even if you don't have to let them go, it's okay to accept the fact that, again, you're not going to be able to see them as often or, talk to them as often as you used to before. It's normal to, have different schedules. It's normal to live in different places. It's normal to have different friend groups, like I said, just especially as we get older. You really do have to hold people with an open hand and be, mindful of the fact that everyone is figuring things out, especially in your 20s, 30s. Everyone is figuring out post grad life and careers and family, and some of them have kids and spouses, and everyone is in a different life phase, and everyone is doing different things with their lives, with their lives and their life. And it's okay if your paths don't continue to cross as much anymore. It's normal, and it is okay. And if you feel like you need to have conversations with people with certain friends, then you can have those conversations. But it's also okay to just let it go. Like it is okay to just do your own thing and to focus so much on building a life that you love. And sorry, sorry, I'm used to holding my microphone, so I had to make sure that it was on. Um, but it's okay to it's super important to make sure that you are focused on building a life that you love and becoming so in love and so obsessed with creating your dream life and with becoming the person, the woman of your dreams, that you're not even worried about, who texted you today or who reached out to you or who checked in on you. Like you should be so obsessed and so focused and so in love with the life that you're creating for yourself, if you are, someone who is unhappy with your life or unhappy with a certain area of your life, it is up to you to change it. It is up to you to, take the responsibility to become the person that you want to be, live the life that you want to live. And that does sometimes require sacrifice. That will sometimes, require you maybe looking for a different job or moving to a different city or, saying no to people and having to, be in a season where you're saving money or where you're working really hard. But whatever it is that it's going to take for you to become the person who you want to be and to build the life that you want to live, you should be so obsessed with doing that and just really, really intentional about creating a life that you love that it's okay. Like you're so consumed by, filling your life and filling your day with things that make you happy and things that you genuinely enjoy doing and that you want to do. If you're doing things on a daily basis, especially when it comes to work that you do not want to do, it is up to you to make that change. And you are not stuck in a job, especially not today where we have, if you're watching this, that means you have the internet and you can look for other jobs. You can literally make money, you guys, doing anything. And just don't let um, what you think people might say about you affect you. I know teachers who left the school system and became bartenders and are so much happier and making so much more money. Like it is okay to take a risk and change and do things that is for you. Again, especially when it comes to work specifically, because whatever you do for a living, if you are someone who does have to work for your income, um, that is where the majority of your time is going to be spent. And so if you're not doing something that you genuinely love to do, it's up to you to change that. It is up to you to make that switch. And I know that it might seem like you're stuck, but it's up to you to find a way out and to create an exit plan and to apply to different jobs and to do whatever it is that you need to do to pull yourself out of a situation you don't want to be in. Maybe you need to work part time instead of full time and get another part time job and like I don't know, just do something that's going to, make you just feel better and feel like you are spending your time doing things that you genuinely love to do. And like I said, don't worry about what other people think about you if your job title changes, if your, where you work changes. They don't even need to know. Like it is okay like to just be cool. Like if you're cool about it and you're not making a big deal about it and you know people still see that you're able to take care of yourself and support yourself, that's all that matters. You're not hurting anybody. You're actually happier, because you've made a certain change in your life. That's all that matters. It has nothing to do with other people. And so if you know that there's a change that you need to make and you're not making it because you're worried about what other people are going to think, baby, they don't have anything to do with your life. Like, absolutely nothing. Your life is 110% up to you. How you choose to spend your time, what you choose to do with your days is up to you. And it is nobody else's responsibility to make you happy and to build a life that you love except for yours. And the younger you are, the easier it is to make a change. So if you're in your 20s and you know that, you want to be doing something different, now is the time. Like you can get away with doing things when you're young that you cannot get away with doing later in life, especially if you're someone who wants a family and you're gonna have, responsibilities soon. If you know that that is, a goal of yours that you are working towards, you are going to, have more responsibilities as you get older. But right now, if especially if you're single with no kids, like you can do anything. Like you have so much freedom, you have so much time. Like this is the least amount of responsibility you will ever have in your entire life. If you, like I said, if you do plan to start a family in the future, but even if you do have a family now, if you do have kids to take care of now or a spouse or whatever, you can still live the life that you want to live. Like your life is not over once you like graduate college or once you turn 18 or once you have a kid or once you get married. Like your life is just beginning. Like you still have so much like more that you can do. Your life is not over when you accept a certain job. You can change your job. You can change your career. That is the beauty, especially again in the world that we live in. No one should be bored. If you're someone who is bored and you feel like nobody is paying attention to you, bored, lonely, those things. And those things are very real, especially when we're talking about friendships. Like I said, with everyone doing different things and people drifting apart. Loneliness is very real, but there is always something for you to do. And especially if you're doing something that you don't like doing and you want to change it, we have so much more access to information. We have so much more access to so many different jobs in so many different places. You can make money doing anything. And so it's really, really important to make sure that you are using all of your resources. It's very important that you are not telling yourself that you're stuck when you know dang well that you are not stuck. You can get out of whatever situation you are in, if you really put in the effort to do that. The work that you put in, the time that you put in, the sacrifices you make are up to you. Your life is up to you. The people you choose to stay with, the people you choose to keep in your life, the decisions that you make on a daily basis, how you choose to spend your time, the jobs that you choose to stay in, the relationships that you choose to stay in, all of it is up to you. And you have to take responsibility for your life. And going back to loneliness, because loneliness is a big topic when it comes to when we're talking about friendships. And like I said, people drift apart, and um, it can be hard to feel isolated. It can be so hard, especially if you live alone too. It can be hard to remember that you do have people that you can still talk to. Again, like I said, it's super important if you are not a part of any type of organization or places that you can volunteer, or just places where you are around other people. It is important to make sure that you are putting in effort to make new friends. It's important that you are putting in effort, to put yourself self out there. Remember that online connections are great, but there's nothing like in person. Like I have met great friends on things like Bumble BFF, and I've met great friends over Instagram, but or and even on YouTube. But it's like you got to get off the phone at some point. If the relationship, if the friendship never, if the dating, if you are dating, never leaves the chat, then it's not really real. You know what I mean? Like you have to make sure that, you are putting in effort to meet people in person, and you can't complain that you're lonely if you're not putting in effort to, be around other people, to take the time to see people, and to make new friends and to date if that's something that you want to do. It is, again, your life is up to you. And also with loneliness, it's so like fun and important to make sure that, again, you're being super mindful of the content that you are consuming. Um, have content that you're consuming that makes you feel, not feel like you're one of them, but like it's girly and it's fun. Like there's so many, we all love the shows that have glamorized and romanticized like girlfriends. The actual show Girlfriends is one of them. Sex in the City, um, all of the like fun girly movies, Mean Girls, like just all of the fun movies. I'm really into old movies right now, like classic movies, like Marilyn Monroe, Audrey Hepburn type movies. Um, but just the content that you're consuming is like fun and it's uplifting and it's not like super negative all the time, and that it reminds you like Housewives is so like it's fun to watch, but it can be a lot once they start fighting. Like the whole premise of the show, they're supposed to fight, like that's the point of the show. But just make sure that you are also watching and consuming content that is going to uplift you and that's positive and that's fun, so that you're not letting the energy of the things that you're consuming affect you and affect your own energy. You would be surprised at how much the content that you consume, whether it's on social media, watching TV, movies, music, all of that gets in you, and it can affect you if you are not being super mindful about it. When it comes to comparison and jealousy, make sure that, again, you are so focused on becoming your dream person and creating your dream life that you're not even worried about other people. I believe it was Mel Robbins who said comparison is literally just jealousy because you want something that the other person has. And so, like, there's no point in being jealous of other people because you can have it too. I think that jealousy is so pointless because anything that you might be jealous of, someone has worked for that. Even if it's not that person specifically, like even if it's a nepo baby who you're looking at and you're like, they only have that because their parents are rich. Their parents work for that, or their grandparents work for that. Like things don't just appear. You know what I mean? Like you can have it too. So jealousy is so important. It's so pointless to me because I know how hard people work to get what they have. And even if it's not, that specific person, like take LeBron James and his son, for example. perfect example of like, you know, LeBron put in the work for his family to never have to work a day in their life and to get the opportunities that they want and to live their dreams. So what if, you know, his name and his dad's work helped his son, you know, to get to where he is? Like jealousy is so pointless because again, somebody put in that work. And so you can put in that same work too. Like whatever someone else has, there's no point in comparing yourself. There's no point in being jealous of it because you can have it too. You know, when you're looking at people with a lot of money, when you're looking at big houses and cars and all that stuff, whatever someone else has, you can have it. That person put in the work or their family put in the work and somebody put in some kind of work to have that. You know what I mean? And even if it was just prayer, I believe wholeheartedly that you can have whatever you want just by asking for it, just by believing for it, by affirming for it. Um, you know, if you're a person of faith, praying, if you believe in manifestation, manifesting it, affirmations, affirming it, like all of it is just faith. You know, again, faith is literally just believing in the things that you can't see, that you cannot see. That is literally all faith is. Faith itself is delusional. And so it is okay to be unrealistic. It is okay to wake up every single day and tell yourself that you are exactly who you have with the job title that you want, with the living the life that you want, living in the place that you want, like wherever it is that you want to live, like whoever it is that you want to be, no matter like what your dream job title is, it is so important to make sure that you are affirming that to yourself every single day, that you are telling yourself that you have that every single day, that you are being grateful that you already are that person, living that life, having those things every single day. Because eventually they're going to show up for you. If you are persistent enough in, telling yourself that you already have it and persistent enough in believing that you do and knowing that you do and working towards that, whatever it is that you want, it's going to be yours. So jealousy and comparison is so pointless. People that you admire should not make you feel jealous, and you should not feel like you are comparing yourself to them. They should inspire you. And so, if the content that you're consuming, is not inspiring to you, is not motivating you, if those people are not, you know, helping you, adding some kind of value to your life, if all you feel when you look at a certain person is jealousy or comparison, then you need to just mute that account or just not talk to them, whatever the case may be. Like, again, everything comes back down to you. It is about being self aware. It is about, just doing what you know you need to do for yourself. Like I said, when it comes to friendships, holding people with an open hand, and just knowing that again, everyone's doing their own thing, everyone's in such different phases of life, and it is okay if you know you have a small friend group. It's okay if you have a big friend group, and if you are a part of different friend groups, like it is okay to kind of like move around different circles, um, and to have different types of friends, and just be diverse. And like I said, I know friendships get a little bit difficult as we get older, um, but they don't have to, and you can put the time and the investment into the relationships that you really do care about, and that you are really serious about having those people in your life long term. And just also remember that it's okay if people are busy. It's okay if, they're not in phases of their life where they want to make the time or where they're able to make the time. And, um, you know, just make sure that when you do connect with people, even if it's just once a month, a few times a month, or a few times a year, make sure that it's worth it when you do. Make sure that you're having a good time when you do see them, that you're not focused on the negative and you're not focused on complaining, and that you're not making them feel bad for, you know, you not being, if you think that they're not a good friend, then it's okay. It's up to you to cut them off, or it's okay for you to have that conversation with them. And either they change or they won't, but it's up to you how you respond to that. Um, but like I said, when you do see them, make sure that you are having fun. Make sure that, you guys are doing things that you both enjoy doing new things, or not both, but if you have more than one friend that you all enjoy doing. Um, and remember that it's okay if your friendships do not exactly look like the ones on the TV shows and the ones in the movies. And remember that no relationship is perfect. But like I said, if you really, are in a friendship where you want to make that effort and where you want you know, to invest the time and the effort and the energy into them, um, to have them in your life as long as possible. Both of you guys, it's just like a romantic relationship. If both of you guys are willing to put in the work and are willing to show up for each other, or more than two. I keep saying both, but you guys know what I mean. Like as a group, um, if the friends in your life are willing to, you know, sacrifice and put in the effort for that friendship, then you guys are going to make it work. And, it's okay to take the pressure off. It's okay to, you know that you might not see each other as often. But just make sure when you do that you have a lot of fun. If you guys have any advice for friendships as you get older, or adulthood friendships, girlhood friendships, if you have Galentine's Day plans, please leave those down below. I hope that you guys got a good takeaway from this video. If you did, please comment it down below. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you give it a thumbs up. I keep saying episode. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I have a podcast, and so I'm so used to saying episode. Um, but I hope that you guys have a really sweet Valentine's Day. If you do not have Valentine's Day plans, this is our plans. These are our plans. And I hope that you guys have an amazing February. January is over, and that happened so fast. So I hope that you guys have an amazing February. Remember to go check out the other videos in this little mini series that I'm doing, Galentine Wine Time. And I will talk to you guys in my next one. Bye.